problem that can never quite be solved. Upstairs and downstairs, life can become so involved. In a house with an upstairs and downstairs, there are times when the upstairs may seem aloof, and you wonder when wandering downstairs what goes on twixt the basement and roof. There's a conflict that seems so perplexing, when in fact one with tact has to wear the crown. Who can cope with a question so vexing that arises both upstairs and down? Though we must be democratic, not to mention diplomatic, clean the kitchen and the attic to keep harmony. Not to be too autocratic on a point that's problematic, not too static or erratic you must be. In a house with an upstairs and downstairs, both the man and his wife can be so involved. In a house with an upstairs and downstairs, with a mistress and a master and a maid who spells disaster, there's a problem that can never quite be solved.
Looks like they're moving in.
Moving in.
Hey, come on.
Coming!
Thank you.
Darling, you're doing fine.
Hey!
Oh. Hey, you idiot.
Is that our bell?
No, most unlikely. We don't even live here yet.
It is our bell.
Oh, who is it? Which of you is Mrs. Barry?
Hey?
Me.
Yeah, that's right, she is. At least she will be after tomorrow. Why, what do you want?
All right if we take the soundboard away?
Oh, yeah, sure, go ahead.
Thank you, sir.
Looks like you made a good buy, sir.
Yes, I think so, too.
He seems very affectionate towards her.
They're always like that to begin with, dear. Seems a waste of time going on a honeymoon.
Well, I wouldn't say that. Yeah, I'll still be here when we get back.
Well, don't have too much brandy tonight.
Now, that depends on the boss. When your father...
There's brandy, we all have brandy. Richard, what are you going to call Daddy now that you're his son-in-law, almost?
Well, I don't really see myself calling him Daddy or Pop or even father-in-law, so I think I shall continue to call him Sir.
But that seems so formal, Richard. Bet you have a pet name for him in the firm.
Yes, we have.
Well?
We call him the Old Bull Moose.
You're an extremely lucky young man, and I'm going to miss Catherine like the devil.
Ah, but you mustn't feel that you're losing a daughter, sir. Gaining a son.
I don't want a son. And if I did, I know a much more agreeable way of getting one.
Yes, I'm sure you do, sir.
Ever since her mother died, Catherine's done all my entertaining for me. She's been my official hostess, special clients, and so on. Now what am I going to do?
Well, sir, have you ever thought of marrying again yourself?
Yes, but it's a hell of a price to pay for a few small dinner parties. Just because you're marrying the boss's daughter doesn't make your obligation to the firm any the less. On the contrary.
Oh, yes, sir, I quite understand that.
I'm delighted to hear it, because you're going to have to take over.
Take over, sir? You mean the firm?
No, not the firm. The entertaining. Special clients one can't bring to a place like this. Catherine knows.
Oh, yes, I see, sir.
You've got a very reasonable little house. What have you done about staff?
Staff, sir?
Yes, cooks, housemaids, that sort of thing.
Well, nothing, sir. I mean, well, there's only the two of us.
Do you mean to tell me you haven't taken on anybody?
No, sir.
But it seems to me you don't know the first thing about married life.
Perhaps the first thing, sir.
But do you seriously mean to tell me you're going to bring back my lovely daughter from, where is it?
Northern Italy, actually, sir, the lakes.
You're going to bring her back and carry her across the threshold of your little love nest and then Chuck her at the kitchen sink. Besides, she'll be at Broadcasting House most days, won't she? She hasn't given that up.
No, she can't, sir. She's under contract.
Mario.
Yes, sir. Mr. Mansfield, is there anything you want?
Yes, a woman. No. It's my daughter and son-in-law who want a girl to come and work for them. Have you or any of your staff some assorted nieces tucked away somewhere?
Oh, yes, they all have. I myself have 6 nieces.
No, one will be plenty.
Maria, she's the best.
Is she clean?
Oh, very clean.
Is she honest?
As I am.
Is she respectable? Is she a good girl?
Her father was a priest.
Indeed. Well, I better come round later on in the week and we'll fix it all up.
Very good, sir.
You see, it's not everyone who can find you a cook in 60 seconds flat.
We're going to be late for lunch again.
Who cares about lunch?
Come in.
Signor Barry?
Yes? Oh, me?
Si, Signor Barry.
Thank you. Grazie.
Prego.
Oh, it's from the old bull moose.
Daddy? Oh, really? You think he'd leave you alone on your honeymoon? What's he want?
And listen to this. Maria arrived early, stop. Have installed her your house, stop. Good peasant stock and strongest horse, stop. Has only a little English, but intelligent girl, stop. Very quick at picking things up, stop. Should be highly satisfactory, stop. Mansfield. Yes, I think Maria should be highly satisfactory. Good peasant stock, intelligent girl.
I'm glad she's intelligent. Makes such a difference, doesn't it, darling? Stop.
Come sta? Honey, yeah, live a little. Oh, I go Bennett, honey, I go Bennett. Oh, we're gonna have fun, baby. Rocky's home.
Oh, we've had such a wonderful time. But, you know, this is the most exciting part.
No place like home, darling. Especially our home.
Just hang on a minute, will you, please?
Darling, listen, music.
Where's that coming from?
Must be the Beresfords.
Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, darling, I put on curtains in Italy.
Nonsense, darling.
Ow!
That's far.
I'll just go and get the bags.
Hey, come on, let's take up. Will you still do this?
Well,
Hey, Rocky, it's a dame. Oh, come on in, honey. If you're not the answer to my prayer, now tell me, what are you going to have to drink? Because you got a long ways to get yourself.
down.
I'm sorry, it's an accident.
An accident?
Adesso succedono tutti i pasticci.
Richard!
Well, now, what do you want, mister?
What do I want? I live here.
Hey, Rocky, this joker says he lives here.
Yeah, well, maybe he does. Did you ever think of that? Come on, Hank. Hank, we're up. Hank, wake up. Come on, wake up. Let's blow this place. It's creepy.
That's a great idea, Rocky. I never did feel at home in this joint. Men, to the boats.
No.
Now, wait a minute, you lot.
If you think you can
No, Maria, non è colpa mia. It's quite obvious what's going on here, and I want an explanation. Ma io non ho fatto niente, e poi non dovrei mai venire in questo paese dove sta così freddo.
Thanks for the hospitality. So I wonder if you could help us find ourselves some dames.
Please, it's Sunday.
You mean to tell me they lay off over here on Sundays?
No, of course
Hey,
they
you
don't.
could help us get some dames if we was to come back here tomorrow?
You ever come back here, my fine feathered friend, and I'll
Hey,
do it.
taxi!
That's it. Go and ask him. They're supposed to know everything.
Yeah,
Get the hell out. Get
Hey, hey, get off there. You'll put holes in your stomach. Come on. Take it easy, Maria. Thanks a lot.
You've led a very sheltered life, Millie, or you would know that that house is a bawdy house.
Boarding house? Non ho soldi adesso! Aprite, brutto villano! Aprite! Aprite! Ecco, io sto qui tutto il giorno.
Richard, the phrase book. All you want in Italy, remember?
Oh, yes, that's right. Yes, here we are with the chambermaid. Send me a barber at 8 o'clock. Well, this is no damn good.
Well, look under general difficulties.
Can you show me the way to the British consulate? This man's following me everywhere. Well, it's not exactly bang on, is it?
Let me in or I broke all the windows. Rompo tutto. 1, 2, 3, 5 e basta.
I shall call a policeman. Ora chiama una guardia.
Oh, yes. Ora
Chiama una guardia.
Right. Stop that or I'll call the police.
I don't understand, non capisco.
Ora chiamo una guardia. Ora chiamo una guardia.
Non fa niente. I have called the Navy.
Hey, are you Maria from sunny Naples? Oh, it's all right, honey. You're with friends. We'll take care of you. Come with us. Come on, that's nice. Come right in.
Good peasant stock. Strong as a horse.
Stronger.
Intelligent girl, very quick at picking things up.
Half the American fleet.
Should be highly satisfactory.
Probably is for some things. Oh, Lord, she's back again.
Mr. Barry?
Oh, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm sorry to disturb you, but we've had a complaint.
A complaint?
Yeah, one of the neighbors.
Oh, Lord.
It seems that a lot of women and sailors have been driving up here in taxis over the last couple of days.
Couple of days?
Yes, sir. I'm afraid it's my job to ask you what has been going on exactly.
Oh, well, you'd better come on inside.
If I can help, sir.
Well, there's quite a simple explanation to all this.
Yes, of course. Excuse me. Our information, sir, is that women have been carried in and out of this house screaming.
Oh, yes?
Can you throw any light on that, Mr. Barry?
Well, yes, I rather think I can. You see, it probably sounds a bit stupid, but, well, I did just carry my wife into the house.
Ah, would that be as a sort of joke?
You could say so, yes.
Why did you have to do that?
We've just this minute arrived back from Italy.
I can't quite see what arriving
Damn
back
it, man, we've come back off our honeymoon.
But, Mr. Barry, this is just a complaint, nothing more. Now then, about these sailors coming and going, would you say it was a housewarming party?
No, not exactly. You see, while we were away, my father-in-law procured a girl.
Ah, procured.
He engaged a girl. As a cook, you understand. But she arrived early.
And started doing a little entertaining on her own account.
And my husband was forced to put her out of the house.
And that's really all there is to it.
And now that she's gone, well, that should be an end of the matter, shouldn't it?
Well, it should be.
Well, what do you mean it should be?
You won't hear from us anymore, sir, but I imagine that these premises will have a certain attraction in some quarters for the next week or two.
What do you mean, knock 3 times and ask for a rosy sort of thing?
Something like that, sir.
What we want is a clean, quiet, unsophisticated country girl, able to cook a simple meal and keep the place tidy.
Living in, madam?
Oh, yes.
I wish you told me that first. Living ins are on pink cards.
I'm sorry.
My dear, I've had them living in, I've had them living out. I've had them married, single and otherwise, if you get my meaning. Oh, Gaylord, don't. Mummy wants to talk. I've had them at all ages, from 17 to 70. All colours, from pure white to blackest ebony. But believe you me, my dear, I've never once found what you're looking for.
Really?
No, but I'm like you, my dear. I always think, this time I'm going to be lucky. Ah, look, his little eyes all bunged up. Ah, poor little
And sitting room?
No. But our kitchen is very comfortable, and my husband and I...
No sitting room. TV?
I'm afraid we don't have television.
No TV. What time off?
Oh, I hadn't really thought about that.
Well, that's the first thing they ask, madam. You surely know that.
Well, I'm sure we can come to some arrangement.
You might. But I'd rather put down a minimum, say 3 evenings a week, 2 afternoons a week, and a long weekend twice a month.
Minimum?
Or at least. These aren't Victorian times, you know, madam. You have someone in to do the rough work, of course?
No. I mean, there isn't any rough work. Well, not that rough.
Depends what we mean by rough, madam. No rough work. Now, the bedroom. Interior spring mattresses.
Oh, yes. At least, I think it is. Well, it's exactly the same as our own.
Thank you, madam. Well, we'll do our best. With no TV, I don't know, I'm sure.
Come on, Gaylord, this is us. Oh, excuse me.
Excuse me. Oh, you will see that the ones you send are all right, won't you?
All right, madam.
Well, we've had a very unhappy experience. I mean, you do vet them first.
Vet them, madam? I can't think what you mean by that. You'll have to take what comes, I'm afraid.
Baba, dear, all the best. Now then, what about this second chauffeur you keep on promising me?
Why are you leaving your present position?
Well, to be quite honest, madam, I don't want to leave at all. Oh, dear me, no. Oh, they've been so kind to me, and I've been so happy, but...
You want some more money, is that it?
Oh, no, sir, no, it's not money. Money isn't everything, is it?
No, of course not, but...
Well, perhaps you're not really happy where you are.
Oh, yes, madam. Oh, I'm quite happy. If I only had myself to think of.
Who do you have to think of besides yourself?
Well, madam, it's my dear sister Emily. She's very poorly, you know, and, well, we're all she's got, Tiny and me.
Who is Tiny?
Tiny's my dog, sir. And I'm afraid it really is a case of love me, love my doggy.
Is it?
Oh, yes, I couldn't go anywhere without him.
No, I'm very fond of them, provided.
Oh, I know what you mean, sir, yes. Oh, of course he is, yes, quite definitely. And he does cheer Emily up so with his funny little ways. But, of course, working right the other side of London, you see, it really was very difficult.
Might one ask, what's the matter with your sister?
Well, sir, it's her stomach. It's shaped like an hourglass. She can only take liquids.
Oh, how very monotonous.
Oh, very monotonous. And she only lives in a little room round the corner from here, you see. So I thought to myself, well, how very convenient. What a very suitable position it would be for both of us.
Well, Rosemary, you seem to be just the sort of person we've been looking for.
Oh, and I know you take to Tiny, sir. Everybody does.
Love me, love my dog.
Don't call him off, for heaven's sake.
Tiny, come on.
Oh, you're suffocating.
Come on, Tiny.
Excuse me, madam, but... Oh, Tiny, you naughty boy. Come along at once. Come along. Oh, you know, sir, I think you're going to spoil him.
I'm rather afraid he's going to spoil me.
Run along. There's a good doggy. Oh, madam, could I just have one word with you just for a moment?
Certainly, Rosemary.
Madam, I've laid the table and I've left the supper already, and I just wondered whether you'd mind if I called round at the chemist, the all-night one in the Brumpton Road, for 1 or 2 things I require.
Of course not, Rosemary. You have the basement key.
Yes, madam, yes, I have the basement key, but I haven't got any money.
None at all?
No. Isn't it shocking? Do you know, I just discovered that I must have left my purse in the bus.
Oh, dear. How much was in it?
Well, £3. And I'm usually so careful about the little money that I have, you know. I think probably it was worrying about my sister Emily.
It's very bad luck, Rosemary. You better have this on account of next payday.
Oh, that's very kind of you, sir. I'm very grateful. I do hope you didn't mind my asking.
Not at all. I don't really see what else you could have done.
No. Well, I shan't be long, and I shall take this opportunity of calling in at my sister's on the way back to tell her how very fortunate I am, what a very nice position I have. Well, good night, sir. Oh, good night, madam.
Good night, Rosemary.
Well, good night, both. Oh, dear. I'm going to call you Emily. Don't mind, do you?
No. Call me anything you like. As long as it isn't rude.
Oh, oh, come on, Tiny, home again. Well, good night, Emily.
Ah. Oh, thanks.
Well, I think she's too good to be true.
Huh?
Do you think there could be anything wrong with her?
Yes, probably. As long as we don't find out, it won't matter, will it?
Well, she couldn't be less like Maria. That's one comfort.
You mean she doesn't like sailors? You wait till she finds her sea legs.
Oh, here she is now.
Good night, Rosemary.
Good night, sir. Good night, madam.
Good night, Rosemary.
Did you find Emily all right?
I think I was able to cheer her up, sir.
Splendid.
Been getting a lot of this church restoration work recently. I had a fellow in to see me today, the Reverend Elton McGuffey from New England. He's mad about his church. If you handle him properly, it might lead to something.
Mm-hmm.
He's brought his wife over, so I suggest you wine and dine him here one night next week.
Well, how about next Tuesday?
Oh, I shall be at the studio all day on Tuesday with auditions. It's Wesley's big day.
Wesley?
He's a young American we met with the Brownings. He's been badgering me for months to fix an audition for him. Couldn't we take the McGuffeys out somewhere? It would be simpler and much more fun.
My dear, the McGuffeys are Americans, and Americans just love to visit in other people's homes.
Don't you worry, sir. We'll manage. I've no doubt at all about Rosemary's capacity.
Oh, excuse me, madam. I just wanted to tell you that I've left the coffee in the other room.
Thank you, Rosemary.
And I just wondered if I might pop out for about half an hour, just to see if I can cheer up poor Emily. She's very low.
Very well, Rosemary.
Oh, thank you very much, madam. And I'll take Tiny with me, shall I? Oh, she does love to see her doggy friend. Come on, boy. Come along. There's a good boy. That's right. Come along. Off we go. Oh, you know, sir, I could be quite blind, but Tiny would always know his way home.
Thank you very much indeed, Rosemary, for a delightful dinner.
Oh, I say. Oh, thank you. Well, you don't know yet, sir, what I can really do. I haven't shown you yet. Well, good night all.
Daddy, you shouldn't. You'll spoil her.
I always like to sweeten the kitty if I give him the chance. If you give that girl the proper encouragement, she'll go right to the top.
Good night.
Mr. Wesley Curtis, you're next, please.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Mr. Coates, we haven't all night, you know. I think it'd be a lot fairer to everybody if I was to tell you the name of the piece I'm going to play. It's the slow movement from the Haydn violoncello concerto. Thank you.
Wesley, what happened?
Oh, Mrs. Barry, you saw that?
But you were doing splendidly.
Yeah, I'm just a sort of a clown, I guess. I got the point of the darn thing stuck down a... Oh! Would you believe it? I got the point of the rule caught in the middle of a line.
That'll do, Mr. Curtis. Next, please.
Oh, gee, I'm sorry, Mrs. Barry. After all the trouble you took fixing the audition.
Well, that's all right, Wesley. There'll be another chance in 3 months' time.
If you can get them to listen to me again, you must have a lot of influence at the BBC.
Well, it's all right as long as you don't buy me a diamond bracelet.
Oh.
Look in and have a drink. Richard would love to see you.
Oh, thank you.
But not tonight. We're having people in for dinner.
Oh.
Kate, where are you?
I'm in the dining room.
Oh, sorry to have been so long. I couldn't get my links in.
Rosemary's not back yet.
Not back? Well, where's she gone?
I'll give you one guess. She's going to cheer up poor blasted Emily. And if she's not back in 10 minutes, you'll have to ring Mario and book a table.
Oh, don't worry. She won't let us down. Not Rosemary.
There she is now. At last. Richard, see if you can do something with those. I'll go and see how she's getting on with things.
All right.
Ah, there you are, Rosemary. I just wanted to make quite sure that you're perfectly clear about everything.
And why shouldn't I be?
Well, we'd like to start our meal at about 7:30, so I think the bird should go into the oven right away.
What makes you think that I'm not perfectly clear about everything, madam?
Nothing, Rosemary. I'm quite sure you are.
Oh, no, you're not. And I'm going to give you a tiny weeny bit of advice.
Oh?
Yes, it happens to be this. Don't be in such a hurry to jump to conclusions.
Rosemary, why are you eating this celery?
Good for the blood.
Rosemary, are you feeling all right?
Absolutely splendid. Yes, madam, thank you.
Rosemary, have you been drinking?
Oh, madam, what a ridiculous question.
Oh.
There you are, you see. Now, you let them in. You let them in. Leave everything to Rosemary.
Richard.
All right, darling, I'll go.
Rosemary's...
Oh, good evening. Do come in. Found your way all right?
Yes, indeed.
My wife, Eleanor. How do you do, Mrs. McGuffey? This is my wife, Kate.
Glad to know you, Mrs. Barry.
How do you do? You'll want to take your things off upstairs.
Yes, thank you so much.
Richard.
Well, we've just been away up in the dome of your St. Paul's Cathedral, Mr. Barry.
Oh, the Whispering Gallery, yes.
That's right. And as Eleanor has no head for heights or liquor, she was mighty glad to get down again.
Martini.
Thanks. Just some plain orange juice, Mr. Barry. And that goes for Eleanor, too. But don't let that stop you. I always say there's nothing wrong with anybody having a drink, as long as they know when to put back the stopper. Well, historical continuity. Now, that's something that you've got over here, Mr. Barry, that I can really appreciate. And to think that the men doing this work today are probably the direct descendants of these very craftsmen. You know, that gives me quite a kick.
Yes, well, I'm afraid there are not many of them left, and of course their work's very expensive.
Hey, Eleanor, look at this.
My, isn't that beautiful? Oh, and the little birds in the nest. Aren't they the cutest things?
Cocktail, Mrs. McGuffey?
Oh, no. Well, just plain orange juice for me, Mrs. Barry. But don't let that put you off. I see nothing wrong in anybody having a drink, so long as they know when to put
That's already been said, dear.
Oh, well. Just plain orange juice. Oh.
Our font is an exact copy of the one in your Bladen Parish Church, Somerset County. But with this one advantage. The water's thermostatically controlled. Never goes below 80 degrees Fahrenheit.
I agree with the principal. Never lay a nice warm baby on a cold marble slab. Isn't that what we always used to sing?
Did we? That's a song I don't recall, Mrs. Barry.
And in the center aisle, there's an elaborate mosaic, an exact copy in miniature of the floor of your Harland Abbey, but with this one great advantage. It's not executed in stone. Oh, no. A long-wearing synthetic rubber that's warm to the feet and easy to walk on.
Oh, Mrs. McGuffey, how are you enjoying it here?
Perfectly delightful. I was telling Elton, if you take the trouble to find out, you British under the skin are practically Americans.
Mr. McGuffey, would you sit here, please?
You sit there, Mrs. McGuffey.
Now, Mr. Barry, there are a number of new innovations in our church back home that I'd like to tell you about. For instance, the organist doesn't show up. So what do?
I don't know.
Well, we switch in 1,200 feet of pre-recorded tape, which takes care of matins or evensong, as the case may be.
Wonderful.
Oh, my, I can't tell you how pleasant it is to sit right down in somebody's home for a change. Don't you feel that way, Elton?
Why, sure. I've always held to the belief that the stability of our two countries is based very largely on the tranquility of domestic life, as exemplified in the sober homes of ordinary men and women like ourselves.
Do please start, everybody.
Well, Elton likes to say a blessing.
Oh, of course.
For what we're about to receive, may the Lord make us truly thankful.
And you're so lucky, my dear, to have people to look after you. Back home with us, it's just impossible.
You have a machine for practically everything.
Well, maybe, but as you know, there are certain things in the home that machines can't do.
I don't think it seems to bother us very much. On the whole, I'd say the average person was very well balanced and...
Very steady.
Yes, steady.
Whoa!
Except that they're all wired up for stereophonic sound, which I call it lit.
And you must come to
Oh, Rosemary, your car, Richard.
Yes, of course. Actually, I've only been to Los Angeles once, and then only for a few days on business.
Well, Hollywood in the West and New York in the East are just not typical.
No, Elton, but you must admit they're fun.
I'm talking about religion, Eleanor, and that's got nothing to do with fun.
Yes, you're so right, Elton.
And then in San Francisco, you've got a completely different kind of people.
Oh, and you would find Chinatown absolutely fascinating.
Eleanor, I'm talking about churches, and there are very few of those in Chinatown.
Yes, you're right, Elton. Very few indeed.
Oh, frightfully sorry, we've got a dog staying with us. Tiny! Tiny, come out of it. Tiny!
Why, that cute little fellow.
Rosemary, go to your room at once. At once.
Excuse me.
Hello, Edwards. I'm sorry to disturb you, sir, but is your kitchen on fire by any chance?
Oh, good heavens, it certainly is. Come on. Hey, darling. I think we're on fire.
Did he say fire?
Yes, he did.
Up the window, Edward! We're on the cooker! Bring the fire!
Oh, my lovely kitchen.
Out of the way! Now, look, water!
I think we should move out of here.
Now, dear, we just can't walk out on our host.
Well, I don't intend to do that, Elton. But when you have a fire, it's kind of personal. Nobody wants a lot of strangers hanging around the place.
Pardon me, am I right here?
11 Beecham Crescent. Ask for Maria. Good luck, Bud. One of us is wrong, son. As far as I know, this isn't that kind of a house.
Are you ready, Elton? This place is getting overpopular. What? Hello. Strangers in a strange land, I guess.
My wife.
Oh, how do you do? Make it clear.
Now, we've just got to say thank you to our host and hostess.
Now, listen, we did not send for the fire brigade, and we wouldn't have wanted all these people, even if we had. What do you think?
Excuse me. Oh, my. Is that your tomahawk? Oh, Mrs. Barry.
I'm terribly sorry, Mrs. McGuffey.
Now, don't you give it another thought, my dear. Elton, say good night to Mrs. Barry. Oh, thank you so much.
Good night, Mrs. McGuffey. I'm so sorry.
I'm terribly sorry, Mrs. McGuffey. I just don't know...
Well, a fire can be a very nasty thing, Mrs. Barry. In our church back home, we've got a device embodied in the ceiling molding that causes a fine spray of water to descend whenever the temperature reaches a predetermined danger point.
Thank you very much.
All right, then, knock up.
Now then, Mr. Barry. I shall have to ask you some more questions, sir.
Go ahead. You must be getting quite a dossier on me.
Now, would you say this was a case of faulty apparatus?
No, I'd say it was a case of drunk in charge.
Right. In charge.
Drunk in charge of an electric cooker.
An electric... Yes. You're joking, aren't you?
Though Papa may be a Tartar, he will make himself a martyr. Washing dishes, he's no smarter than he ought to be. While your thoughts are busy turning, comes a sudden smell of burning, and you find that you are yearning to be free. In a house with an upstairs and downstairs, both a man and his wife can be so involved. In a house with an upstairs and downstairs, nothing else is gonna matter. Tiny feet will soon be pattering. Another little problem has been solved. Has been solved.
At least it's a lot more comfortable sitting waiting here for the news than reading old copies of Punch in some revolting nursing home.
Yes, I know, sir, but I just can't help thinking about what Kate must be going through.
And what do you think I'm thinking about? Of course, at my age, one learns to conceal one's true feelings under a mask of indifference.
Yes, I suppose so.
Huh?
Oh, she's all right, sir, but there must be some mistake. It says I'm a grandfather.
You bloody fool! It's addressed to me. I'm the grandfather. Mario, it's a boy. Oh. Bring us an hand. Congratulations.
Blast. How long does this keep up for? I haven't had a decent night's sleep for 2 weeks.
Neither have I.
You're not working.
No, but I should be. Oh, Richard, we must get someone to look after him.
Yes, darling. Well, there should be some answers to our advertisements tomorrow.
I hope so.
Hey, we've had some replies.
The baby was just going to sleep.
Well, there's only one that really sounds like us.
Wishes to come to London. Has brought up family of 4 since her mother died when she was 12. Well, if she can cope with all that, I can cope with her.
Lives in Llanfair, something or other, wherever that is.
We haven't tried anyone from Wales.
No, we haven't tried anyone from Russia either, have we?
We could send her a telegram and you could go down by car on Sunday and fetch her. You'll enjoy that.
Yes, I rather think I would enjoy a nice, peaceful day in the country. No, thanks, I don't. You've never been to London before?
I've never been to England before.
That'll be quite a change for you.
I hear all the houses in London got running water.
That's right, hot and cold.
Hot as well. Marvellous, isn't it?
Yes.
I've never driven in a fast car before.
Oh, yeah, she goes pretty well, doesn't she?
Would have been enough if you'd had some oil in it, wouldn't it?
Yes, wouldn't it? Well, here's something on account, and this is my address. You do the job, and I'll pick her up next Sunday.
Right you are, sir.
Oh, is there someone who can run us to the station?
Sure. Sure, I can run you and your wife down if you like.
Oh, she's not my wife.
Oh. Well, that's all right, sir.
Well, you better hop out if you want to get to London.
Why, have we got to walk then?
No, we're going in the train.
Oh, what a day, isn't it?
Yes, isn't it?
You know I've never been in a train before.
Oh, fancy that now. No ticket, please, miss.
I haven't got no ticket. My master got it.
Your master. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. No, you wait here. I'll get back in a minute.
There. Thanks, dear.
Madam, I think you're in my seat. Oh, yes.
Excuse me.
Sorry.
I see. What are you doing now?
There must be something.
Thank you. I'm most grateful. I've been banging on that door for 5 minutes, locked in.
My shoe, I think.
Oh, most distressing experience.
Oh, excuse me. Look, I want to report there's something the matter with this door. A clergyman and me have just been locked in there.
What, together?
Oh, no, separately.
Well, how'd you get out then?
Well, I don't quite know. The door just suddenly opened, but I think you ought to put a sign on it.
I'll report it when we get to Paddington.
Yes, but don't you see, somebody else might get knocked in
Can't
there.
do anything while we're on the move,
Yeah,
sir.
but I mean, it's frightfully embarrassing.
Mr. Barry,
Oh, what's the matter, Blodwin?
I feel sick. Oh.
Lord.
Oh.
Excuse me. Well, it's just along here.
Oh.
Now, don't shut the door, Blodwin. Blodwin, don't shut the door. You'll kill yourself. Blodwin? Blodwin? Now, don't worry. At the worst, we'll get you out at Paddington, and that won't be long now. Blodwin? You all right, Blodwin? Blodwin!
Anything wrong, mate?
Blodwin! Blodwin! Speak to me! Blodwin, what's the matter?
Excuse me.
There's a young woman.
Did you stop the train, sir?
Yes, I did. There's a young woman locked in there, seriously ill. She's fainted or worse. It's really very serious.
Oh, I feel beautiful now, thank you.
Blodwin, I've been banging on the door and shouting. Why didn't you answer?
Do you realize it was a very serious penalty for doing this kind of thing?
He tried this trick a few miles back.
Now, look, I'm telling you, I was locked in there myself, and this young lady's been in there...
Said last time it was a clergyman.
Now, look,
Mr.
I'm telling you...
Mr. Barry!
Excuse me.
Mr. Barry.
Now, what is it, Blodwin?
Well, just now, suddenly, like, I come to a decision.
Oh, what's that?
I don't think I'm going to like London after all.
Well, Blodwin, how can you possibly say that? I mean, you haven't even seen it yet.
No, I know, but I mean, I've been in your motor car and it broke down, and I've been on the train and I've been sick, and probably if I go to London, something worse might happen. I mean, it's a warning, isn't it?
Excuse me, ma'am. Improper use of, sir. I'm afraid I had to have your name, address, and occupation for the railway police at Paddington.
Police now, is it? Oh.
Darling, what happened? You're so late.
A lot.
Well, where's Blodwin? Hasn't she come?
Oh, yes, she came, but she went back again on the next available train. Oh, Lord. I'm sorry, but you've got to ask me a few more questions.
That's right, sir.
Of course, we've no references. And when I say we have never been in service before, I mean domestic service, naturally.
My husband and I were 28 years in the Sudan, with the government, that is.
And my bankers can at least vouch for my integrity.
We retired on what was quite a good pension, but now, well, I'm afraid it's just not enough. We simply can't manage.
But we're both fit and strong, and we know how things should be done.
Yes.
Edith is a simply marvelous cook, and very fond of children, too.
It sounds splendid, but I don't think we can afford you both.
That's where we could be helpful, perhaps. You see, we have a little pension. We want to be together.
So you could have the two of us for the price of one.
Exactly.
Well, that's very generous indeed, sir.
No. It is I must call you, sir. You just call me Farrington.
Yes, of course. Farrington.
That's it. Excellent. Here's my card in case you want to change your mind.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Ah, Kingsley, here are your tickets.
Thank you very much. That was a splendid dinner you gave us last night.
It's such a relief to have found a really reliable couple at last. Oh, by the way, now that they're with us, they rather wanted to know if they can use your branch of the bank.
Oh, but of course they'd be very welcome.
Good.
I do hope they prove to be satisfactory.
Well, it's early days yet, of course, but so far so good. In fact, very, very good.
Splendid. Thank your wife for the concert tickets.
Not at all. She knows you both like Tchaikovsky. But we're going too. A friend of ours is playing the cello.
Well, we look forward to seeing you.
Right. Bye.
Bye. Are they waking up?
Wonderfully. But what's so lovely is that one feels that one can trust them.
Complete integrity.
Absolute prophets.
And they work like beavers.
Oh, there you are.
It's just like everything else, Edith. They knew how to build in the old days.
Now, don't overdo it, Arthur. All the money in the world isn't worth that.
Oh, I'm pretty strong. Now, don't you go straining yourself carrying those heavy buckets.
I can manage the buckets quite easily, Arthur. I do like to see things tidy.
And now we join the audience at the Royal Festival Hall for a performance of Tchaikovsky's famous 1812 overture.
To Tchaikovsky. Lovely stuff, that.
Uh-huh.
Just going off then?
Just going off.
Can you manage, Edith? There's some heavy stuff in there, my dear.
Our generation wasn't brought up to be afraid of a little hard work, Arthur. When I was a VAD, I'd have thought nothing of all this.
That's the spirit. We're well up to schedule anyway. Well, my dear, we're through. Patty, where's the jet ignite?
In the refrigerator, dear, and the jug marked milk. And don't forget the detonators. I wonder what your father would have said if he'd lived to see this day, dear.
I know what he would have said, my dear. First time I've ever found a good use for that damn fellow Tchaikovsky. Turn it up, my dear, turn it up. That's right.
There's a great deal of money here, Arthur. You haven't overdone it, have you?
Have no qualms, my dear. This is what they call an anti-inflationary measure. You see, darling, the less of this stuff knocking around, the better it'll be for everyone. You'll see.
We must put everything back as we found it, Arthur. It wouldn't be fair on Mr. and Mrs. Barry not to do that.
Oh, I don't know.
Arthur, noblesse oblige.
Very well. Whatever you say, but we mustn't cut it too fine. Right. Heave.
Here, Charlie. What do you make of this?
Farrington? Farrington, do you know what time it is? Farrington? Farrington? Where the devil are they?
Well, they're not upstairs.
Morning, Mr. Barry.
Edwards? Well, how did you get in? I mean, what the blazes are you doing here?
I'm afraid I shall have to ask you a few more questions, sir. Question of a blown-up bank, illegal use of explosive material, gross disturbance of the peace.
And damage to bank property.
Do you mind, sir? I was coming to that bit. Would you like to sit down, please, sir? And you too. Mind if I take off my hat? Yes, I will have a cup of tea. Thank you, sir.
There's the new baby.
She hasn't got, she can't talk.
Hello, Wes. How did it go?
A little wind blew up around 10 o'clock. Apart from that, a smooth trip.
Well done.
After tomorrow, Wesley, looks like you won't have to do any more babysitting for us.
Yeah, I guess not. Until the next time.
Oh, no, this girl really sounds like the one we've been looking for.
Oh, don't they all?
Ah, but the difference is this one's had a year at university.
Oxford?
No, Uppsala.
Where?
Well, it's in Sweden. Her name's Ingrid Gunnar. Hey, would you like to come to the station with me tomorrow and meet her?
Yeah, I'll come with you. I like that name, Ingrid.
Okay.
Shut up, Daddy. I want to go to sleep.
Miss Gunnar?
No?
Miss Gunnar?
No, no.
I say, what a lot of smashing-looking girls.
Well, let's go and collect him.
Miss Gunnar? Miss Gunnar?
Miss Gunnar? Excuse me, are you Miss Gunnar from Sweden?
No, I'm from Chorleywood.
Charlie who?
Are you looking for Mrs. Barry?
I'm looking for a porter, actually.
Oh, what a pity. Ah. Are you Miss Gunnar from Sweden?
Oh, is this for television?
Does it make any difference?
Well, I mean, everybody wants to get on television, don't
No,
they?
Miss Gunnar doesn't.
Well, anyway, I'm not her. Sorry.
No?
No.
Hey, are you looking for somebody?
Are you Miss Gunnar?
Yes, I am. Oh, please stop. Oh. And you are Mr. Barry? Oh, sorry.
No, I'm Mr. Barry. This is Mr. Coates. He came to help with the luggage.
Oh, I'm so glad. No, I kept the 2 old things here. Thank you.
Did you have a good trip?
Oh, yes, it was. Oh, sorry. It was splendid. It rains so strongly.
You like the rain?
Oh, yes. When it rains, I think of all the houses and streets that are being washed. And all the little girls and boys' faces who perhaps do not like to be washed with soap, but love to be washed by the rain. The cats do not like it. They, of course, wash themselves. Oh, I like the rain. The rain is always a friend of mine. You have fogs here.
Yes, we have fogs.
I wonder if I shall like the fogs. Do you think I shall like the fogs, Mr. Barry?
Oh, no, I shouldn't think so.
I shall. I know I shall. I know I shall love everything here.
Yeah, well, let's get ourselves a taxi, huh?
Forgive me, Mr. Barry, please. Oh, I'm so excited, like a little child.
This way.
Oh, how do you do, Mrs. Barry?
How do you do?
Yes, it was funny. But I can see now you are of a most suitable age to be Mr. Barry.
Check.
And now, I would like to see the children.
Can I? Right away. Oh, you don't look a day over 40, darling.
Did I say something to offend Mr. Barry?
Oh, no.
I wouldn't do that for the world.
Come on.
What do you think of her, Wesley?
Oh, the question does not arise, Mr. Barry. Now, I'll take these 2 old things here upstairs for you.
Thank you very much.
Now, let me guess, what is your name? You're very pretty, and I think your name is...
I'm Paul.
Paul? I think that is a most wonderful name. And this is? Suzanne. I think that is another wonderful name. And I'm Ingrid. Isn't that wonderful too?
I'm 4. How old are you?
I'm nearly 20.
Daddy's nearly 20, and he gave me these bricks.
Oh, they are lovely bricks. And I can see what you are making. This is the train, and these are the tracks. And now I will make a little bridge for the train to go under. The train loves to go under little bridges.
Why?
Because he can whistle. Here is the train going under the little bridge. And then the train comes puffing over the river. And across this field, where there are 12 cows. Every time he sees a cow, he has to whistle. Today, by the Albert Memorial, Paul asked me a question. Where do I come from, he says. I tell him.
Oh?
Yes, I tell him. London. London is where you come from, I tell him. And how proud he must always be to say he comes from London.
Well, that's very nice, Ingrid, but, well, you must be just as proud of where it is you come from. Svedso.
Oh, it's not like London.
But it's where your home is, that's the point.
Oh, yes. And if I had married Serge already, I would have been at home forever. And I'm not yet ready to be at home forever. Perhaps later, when I have seen something and been somewhere. Perhaps then I will go back to Serge.
Well, do you think he'll wait that long?
Oh, yes. Serge will wait. He waits for the tide, he waits for the fish. If he can wait for them, surely he can wait for me. Besides, when I have traveled and seen things, he will find me much more interesting. Do you not think so?
Well, that all depends.
Of course, he would be a good husband, kind and very strong in bed. But he would be strict with me.
Yes, quite right.
If he doesn't wait, then perhaps it is that I'm not worth waiting for.
Well, that's a very difficult question.
And not one I can decide now. Serge is in Svedso, and I'm in London. And here, everyone is so nice. Perhaps I will become nice here. Do you think so?
Yes, I'm sure you will, Ingrid.
By nice, I mean nice looking. Like Mrs. Barry. It would make me very happy if one day you would teach me to make up. But I expect it is very difficult.
No, it isn't difficult at all.
Not?
No. Well, what is it?
Oh, I'm just thinking that if I looked like you when I went back, they would die of shock in Svedso. Oh, no. Oh, I mean by that, it is very strict for women in Svedso.
Oh, I see.
Then, you will teach me, Mrs. Barry? Please.
Of course, we'll start tomorrow. We're having a party on Thursday, and you'll want to look your best for that.
A party?
Oh, there is no end to the excitement of living in London.
Oh, it isn't all that exciting, Ingrid. Just a few old friends.
Oh, no, you must allow me, Mrs. Barry, please. That is what I'm here for. And also, I'm full of energy, because I'm so young.
And you don't look a day over 40, darling. Hello, here's your father.
Evening, sir. So glad you came. You're not. I take up too much room, and anyway, I hate these functions. Hello, my dear.
Hi, Daddy.
I came to look over this new girl of yours. What are you going to offer me?
Glass of champagne, sir.
French mineral waters. And I loathe the stuff. I see you've got a bottle of decent malt whiskey there. I should have a large one. And don't introduce me to any foolish women.
Help yourself, sir.
I'm already doing so.
Oh, Snuffles, darling.
darling. Don't you look sweet? Now, you stay here and be a good girl. Mummy won't be long, pet.
You and that dog.
Well, at least I don't spend all day polishing its bottom.
But there's a scratch. Some buzzard scratched it.
It's only a car.
Ah.
Are you coming in? Or shall I send you out a pint of polish with an olive?
Mary, darling. Where's Harry?
Oh, he's having an affair with a new car. We only got it yesterday.
How about that?
What's the matter, Harry?
Did it get down to the bone, dear?
A ruddy great scratch, old boy, and she's brand new.
You've said that already.
I brought my cop to a party.
Well, have a drink, Harry. Look, there's a friend of ours I'd like you to meet. Wesley Coates, Harry Blair.
Oh, how do you do?
Hi.
Hello. I just got a new car.
Oh, it's funny. I just bought myself a new cello.
You get a good performance?
Not bad.
I don't expect you've had time to run her in yet. Some apes just scratched mine for me.
Oh, I scraped mine myself.
What make did you say you'd got?
I didn't.
You didn't?
Uh-uh.
I must be in the wrong lane.
Hello, Edward.
Excuse me, Mr. Barry. One of your guests got a car, 100 BPA.
Oh, just a minute, I'll find out. Anyone with a car number 100 BPA?
What number?
100 BPA.
100 BPA? That's mine.
Now, you're in trouble.
Oh, here we are.
What the heck?
Who's on that? Officer, can't you do something? Get the dogs out of there. This is a brand new car. Mine, this is my car. It's a brand new car.
Oh, that's my bitch.
You what?
Snuffles.
Come on. We better go and help him.
Excuse me.
Hello, Ingrid.
Hello, Mr. Barry.
Hello. Hey, you're the...
Don't you remember me? You came to meet me at the station when I first came. And I thought you were Mr. Barry.
So that was you.
Just me. Do I look different?
Don't you think London suits her?
Well, what do you know? Here, let me get you a drink. Come to think of it, I need one myself, badly. Now, don't you go away, Ingrid.
Heard about the woman who really... Well, I know.
Everybody, I would like you to meet Ingrid. This is her very first party in England.
How do you all do?
Well, hello. Excuse me. How do you do?
How do you do?
Brian?
How do you do?
How do you do? You think they will like me?
Yes, I'm sure they will.
Freddie?
Hello, how are you?
Peter?
Thank you.
Jonathan?
Well, where have you been all my life? I say, would you care for a sausage? Well, that's
Oh,
it.
yes, thank you.
You're not British, are you?
Oh, no.
Oh, I say, what is the Swedish? Yes, what did you say? Excuse me, thank you very much. Here's your drink, Ingrid. Let me take your sausage.
Thank you. Oh, you know, Mr. Wesley, I've never before had champagne.
Oh, no, really?
Do you think I will like it?
Oh, it's a walkover.
Yes.
Well, I will try it.
Yeah, that's a ticket. Carry on. Well, don't sip it.
No. Take a big mouthful. Right down.
Yes, you fill your mouth, then chew it, and then swallow. That's it. Well done.
Well, that's it. How do you like it?
Oh! So that is champagne.
That's champagne. Did you like it?
Oh, but it's wonderful. Who's going to get me some more?
Very well.
Let's get some more.
I will get her. Do you mind?
Champagne, Minchera.
Oh, duck, duck.
How do you do?
I say, steady, stop.
Interesting party, Richard. I quite enjoyed myself.
Oh, I'm delighted, sir. Tell me, do you approve of our new staff?
Yes, I do.
Yes, I rather thought you did, sir.
Good idea of mine to get a girl like that. Let's hope you're settled down now once and for all. I may drop in for dinner sometime.
Well, you'll always be very welcome, sir.
And you'll always be a ruddy liar. Good night.
Good night, sir.
Lovely party, Richard. I adored it. So did Snuffles.
Oh, good.
It's a pity that girl dresses so obviously. She's really quite pretty. Good night.
Good night, Mary.
She can't be a nanny.
She is. She's our nanny and general factotum.
Well, I've never seen a factotum with coachwork like that.
And we don't want it scratched.
Well, Mr. Barry, did you like me, your friends?
By and large, I think they did, yes.
Well, by and large, I like them. I'm so excited. I wish the party was not over.
And not a squeak out of the children the whole of the evening. But Ingrid, would you mind going up to the nursery to see them now?
Oh, yes, Mrs. Barry. And thank you. And thank you, Mr. Barry, for having me to your party.
You were a big success, Ingrid, and I'm glad you enjoyed it.
As you say here in London, not half I didn't.
Well, we started to push one boat out tonight, and I think we've launched another one. Oh, I recognized that dress.
Yes, it suited her, didn't it?
Certainly did.
No, I always felt that dress was too young for me.
Oh, don't talk such nonsense. Anyway, you look pretty wonderful, too.
Darling,
Hmm?
do you find Ingrid attractive?
Yes. Well, like I find the children attractive.
If it was in any other way, you would tell me, wouldn't you?
Yes, of course.
But don't fall in love with her, will you?
Just coming on, then?
Just coming on.
You see, it's rather difficult to explain.
What you're trying to say is that your wife doesn't understand you.
Yes, that's it, exactly. Oh, she's a sweetie, of course, but somehow she just doesn't understand me.
Do you understand her?
Of course I do, like a book.
I see. Then, is it always only the wives who do not understand their husbands? I think Mrs. Barry understands Mr. Barry.
Well, he's a very lucky man.
Yes. I think he must be.
I shouldn't tell the Barrys that you've actually been out with me.
But I wouldn't tell a lie.
Oh, no.
Not to Mr. and Mrs. Barry.
No.
But if you like, I would not say so, unless they ask, which they will not.
You see, the trouble is, Ingrid, it might get back.
What you're trying to say is that your wife wouldn't understand, perhaps?
Exactly.
She is a sweetie, of course, but she just doesn't understand.
How did you know that?
In England, the wives do not understand the husbands. Everyone is the same. That's what Harry told me.
Harry?
He's the same. I come for a little more coffee.
Oh, right, yes. I say 2 fluffy ones, please.
Yes.
Ingrid, what'll you have?
Champagne, please.
Champagne. All right, a bottle of champagne, please.
Very good, sir.
I always have champagne because I know no better.
Yes, you don't need to know any better.
You buy your wife champagne, I expect, do you?
No.
You should do. Then she will begin to understand you. I know it. That's what champagne is for.
Is it?
Tonight at the Foreign Students Club, there was some dancing. And a French boy, he danced in a most marvelous way, asked me to go home with him. Do you think I should have gone?
Well,
What do you think, Mrs. Barry?
Well, a good dancer isn't necessarily good at everything else, Ingrid.
Oh, but you are so right, I think. And you know, he had very short fingers. I don't think he would be very sensitive. But he was jolly. There was a Spanish one, too.
And what was he like?
Very correct. And he never smiled once. I'm sure he's deeply passionate. Perhaps I shall find out. But Everybody is so interesting. Even you and Mrs. Barry.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, please don't be cross. I do not mean...
No, I'm not cross. I'm just curious. In what way do you find us so interesting?
Well, you're married and you have children, and yet you are still very much in love. But all the time, one feels you are holding yourselves back. Do you know, since I've been here, I have never seen you kiss one another.
What do you make of that observation, darling?
Well, she's obviously a very unobservant girl.
Is it not a happy thing to have made a kiss between two people?
It's evidently quite time we all went to bed.
Oh, dear. I have offended you?
No, I'm not offended, but you're a very mischievous girl.
Oh, by the way, Ingrid, Friday night is our wedding anniversary, and Mr. Barry usually takes me out, so you won't make any arrangements for that evening, will you?
Friday? Oh, they have made an arrangement, Mrs. Barry. It's done already.
Oh, well, it'll have to be undone, Ingrid.
But I think it is an important arrangement, Mrs. Barry, with an important acquaintance.
I'm sorry, but you'll have to stay in on Friday evening, Ingrid.
Oh, Mrs. Barry.
I'm sorry. I'm going up now. Good night.
Good night, Ingrid. Going to lock up now.
Hey! Mr. Barry!
What is it, Ingrid?
I have just thought of the most wonderful idea.
Oh?
Nobody needs to be unhappy on Friday nights, because I know exactly what can be done.
Mm-hmm.
I will get Mr. Wesley to come and babysit.
But, Ingrid, he may not want to come and babysit.
Oh, yes, he will. Mr. Wesley will do anything for me. He told me so.
Oh, I see.
Then, Mr. Barry, please, please.
Well, we'll find out tomorrow if Wesley's free on Friday. Now, you better hop upstairs to bed and get some sleep.
Thank you. I'm writing a letter to Serge. He has written 3 times in 2 weeks. He is wondering what has happened to me.
I'm not surprised.
And I think I'm wondering that also. Good night.
Tony, I'm starving, darling. I hope you are.
Yes, I especially didn't eat lunch.
You're a naughty girl.
Good evening. Happy anniversary. Come, I have the table ready and all the flowers you ordered is...
Darling, look over there, for heaven's sake.
Why, Leo?
Now, come on, we can't possibly dine here. It'd be much too embarrassing. I'm awfully sorry, Mario. We'll have to have another night. Now, come on. Darling, even he would be embarrassed. Now, come on, you can't possibly make a scene here. We'll go to the police and sort it out when we get home.
What I want to explain, my dear, is that although the sun may be going down in the west, there's still a lot of warmth in it. You see what I mean?
Oh, yes, of course. In my country, the sun sometimes tries to shine at midnight. But it is quite cold all the same.
You quite sure about that?
There's plenty of room here.
My feet are killing me, and I'm so hungry.
I'm sorry, darling.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. We're not too late, are we?
No, just in time for cabaret. Naughty nude Hong Kong girls. I bring you delicious fried rice.
Not on our wedding anniversary. I'm not having fried rice and nudes. And another thing while we're on the subject, something happened last week I didn't tell you about.
Oh, what was that?
Well, Mary rang me up and she was in a dreadful state.
Hmm? What's the matter with her?
Well, it seems that when Harry was supposed to be in Bristol, he was seen out with a girl in London.
Well, that's quite like old Harry, isn't it?
Mary swears it was Ingrid.
Oh. What did you say?
I said it was impossible. In any case, Ingrid's only a child.
That's funny. That's more or less what I told Jill Henderson. She came to the office.
Jill did?
Uh-huh. Apparently somebody saw Frank with somebody, you know, the kind of thing. Anyway, I wouldn't accept that it was Ingrid.
But you would now.
No, I rather think I might.
You'll have to speak to her, Richard.
Me?
Yes.
Oh, darling, it's nothing to do with me.
Well, I know it's not your fault, but I don't want Ingrid to become my stepmother.
Good night, Ingrid, my dear.
Ingrid?
Good evening, Mr. Barry. Did you have a wonderful time, Mr. Barry?
Not altogether, no.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
You see, we had booked a table at Mario's, but...
That's funny. I didn't see you and Mrs. Barry, and that is just where I was with Jimmy.
Jimmy?
Mr. Mansfield.
Yes, as a matter of fact, we saw you there.
You should have joined with us, you and Mrs. Barry. And we might have had another party.
No. Look here, Ingrid. Mr. Mansfield is old enough to be your father.
That is what he said.
Really? What did you say?
I said to him, I think you're old enough to be my grandfather. He only laughs, of course.
Ingrid, I think I should remind you that Mr. Mansfield is not only my father-in-law, but also my boss.
I know. That is why I didn't want to put him off. I have a question to ask him.
Oh?
During an evening, I find there is always one right moment to ask for a thing you want badly enough. And so at the right moment tonight, I ask him.
What?
I ask him to make you a partner in the business, Mr. Barry.
What did he say?
He says he's going to do so after Christmas.
Oh, I see.
Oh, but to be truthful, I think he had already made up his mind, Mr. Barry. I just gave him a little push.
Look, Ingrid, I know you're only trying to be kind, but...
I should not, you mean?
Oh, yes. But you see, nearly all our friends are married people like, well, like I am, and they oughtn't to ask you to go out with them, at least not alone.
Oh, it's only because they are not happy people, like you and Mrs. Barry.
Well, that's just maybe, but it doesn't really alter the point. You see, you're a nice girl, Ingrid, and I don't want you to be a stupid one.
Am I being stupid to be happy?
No, but, well, sometimes to be too happy makes you do stupid things.
I understand what you're trying to say, Mr. Barry. But that's funny. You don't understand me. You don't know when I'm joking. Perhaps when I'm serious, I shall surprise you. I must go. Good night, Mr. Barry.
Timber!
Hello, darling.
How to be popular on the underground. Hey, that looks wonderful. Had a good day?
No complaints. Ingrid's just putting the children to bed.
Right.
Oh, don't bother. Ingrid will go. It's some friend of hers. She said something about it earlier on.
Okay.
Hey.
What?
did you say to Ingrid that night?
Oh, nothing very much. Just sort of, well, talk to her like a father, I suppose.
Well, you certainly made an impression.
Did I?
Oh, Mr. Barry, you're here. May I say something to you?
Yes, of course.
You were so right about me, Mr. Barry.
Was I?
You were good to tell me not to be a stupid shallow fish flitting from flower to tree.
I can see it now.
I was stupid. Experience is not to be found in many people, but only fully in one. Is not that true?
Could be.
It is. And because I know this to be true, I have decided to get married.
Ingrid!
And I have brought him here by arrangement to see you. He's waiting outside. Please, may I bring him in?
Yes, please do.
Yes?
Please do. Wesley!
Hi.
Good Lord.
I guess it's a small world.
Yeah, I guess it is, man.
Well, as I see it, Mr. Barry, the way you have to look at it is this. You're not losing a nanny, you're gaining a babysitter.
Yeah.
Just going off?
Just going off.
Happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas.
You know, the old man's been pretty sore at me wasting my time over here in Europe when I could have been home at the cannery.
Darling, what is that? Cannery?
Oh, it's what he does. Coates Canneries, Chicago. He cans hogs.
He cans hogs?
Mm-hmm.
Are they very small hogs?
They cut them up first, honey.
Alive?
Gosh, no. They electrocute him. 480 hogs an hour. That adds up to a lot of dough.
A lot of hogs, too.
I telephoned him right away over there in Chicago. He was really pleased.
What did you tell him, Wesley?
Oh, all about us, I guess, and going back home to the hogs.
Going back home. But what about your music?
Oh, I'm no star performer, Ingrid. I found that out just like the old man said I would. And anyway, when you take on responsibilities, you gotta stop just trying to please yourself. It's been fun over here, right enough. Real fun, a kind of adventure. But in the end, you come to realize that no matter how far you go, there's only one place you really belong. And that's back home where your own folks are. It's funny, but it's true.
Oh.
Here, before they come back.
For me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Oh. It's not real, of course.
Why, sure it is. $1,750. I got the old man to cable my bank.
Hello, darlings. It's after midnight. It's Christmas Day.
Happy Christmas, Wesley.
Oh, you too, Mr. Barry.
Happy Christmas, Ingrid.
Happy Christmas, Mr. Barry.
Cheer up, Wesley. You'll be a long time married. Happy Christmas.
Yeah, you too, Mrs. Barry.
Ingrid, you must hurry.
Oh, it seems so sad without them.
Oh, the children love going to their grannies, and she adores having them. But you'd better get dressed or you'll be late.
Yes, Mrs. Barry.
Kate! Wesley's here!
Don't let him in. It's unlucky.
Well, hurry up.
Just be a minute.
Well, I guess this is it, Mr. Barry. How do I look?
Oh, fine, Wesley, just fine. Kate, wait a minute. You're not allowed to come in or see the bride. It's supposed to be unlucky or something.
Oh. Well, see you at the church then, Mr. Barry. Don't be late.
Right.
See you at the church.
Okay. Well, good luck. Hurry up, Ingrid. I shouldn't overdo this keeping him waiting business if I were you.
I'm nearly ready, Mr. Barry. I shall not be long.
All right. Okay, driver, won't be a minute.
Right you are, sir.
Ingrid.
You will all think I'm a terrible person for doing this. Especially Wesley. He's a nice, kind man, but I cannot marry him. I'm such a coward. I cannot hurt people. I do not want to. Do you understand, Mr. Barry?
Yes, I think I do.
When I came to you, I knew nothing. Coming to England was the greatest adventure of my life. I thought that all my life I wanted nothing but adventure. But when I said goodbye to the children yesterday, I suddenly knew that adventure is a lonely and stupid thing. You told me not to be stupid, remember?
Yes, I did.
And yesterday, I also knew that London was an adventure. And Wesley was part of it. But I do not love him.
I see.
And all day today, I know that sweat store is where I left it. And Serge is still there. And in the end, however many adventures I have, I shall have to go back and he will still be waiting. I cannot make him wait as long as that, can I?
Ingrid, I wish to...
Please! Say goodbye to everybody. And tell them that I'm very, very sorry. There is a train at 3 o'clock.
I'll take you. King's Cross Station, please.
Hey?
King's Cross.
Oh.
Huh? Goodbye, Ingrid.
Goodbye, Richard.
We're all terribly sorry, Wesley.
I guess I'm even more sorry for you, Mrs. Barry.
For me? Why?
Oh, there's only one answer I can see. She and your husband must have gone off together.
Oh, hello, sir.
Oh, Edwards, what are you doing here?
Well, I'm just having a wedding, actually, sir. We was on next. Your lot went home. The bride never turned up.
Gone home?
Yes. I don't know if you met my Mrs. Edwards.
How do you do?
She doesn't talk much, but she can cook. Best cook in the division, ain't you? Well, if you'll excuse us, sir, I'd hate to get pinched for barking.
Just a minute. Did you say cook?
Yes.
There. Arrayed, my dear. And high time, too, I should say.
I'm sorry, Wes, but that's the way she wanted it.
I guess so. That fella Serge, he must be quite a guy.
Have a drink.
After all those years in the force, you might feel a bit strange at first.
Oh, I don't know. Make a nice change to catch her off duty for once.
What do you plan to do with your retirement?
Well, sir, after our honeymoon, we hope to find a nice, comfortable billet in some gentleman's house.
You mean go into service?
Yeah, if we find the right place, that is.
And when do you return from your honeymoon, Mr. Edward?
Tomorrow morning. We're having just a one wild night in Brighton.
Excuse me, Richard, I've got an idea.
Welcome back. I've got to carry her over the threshold, otherwise it's unlucky.
I'll have a go, sir.
Well, they're starting again. I shall tell our nice policeman.
My dear, that is our nice policeman.
In a house with an upstairs and downstairs, both a man and his wife can be so involved. In a house with an upstairs and downstairs, with a mistress and a master and a maid who spells disaster, there's a problem that can never quite be solved. Upstairs and downstairs, there's a problem that can never quite be solved. Upstairs and downstairs, life can become so involved.